Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project sues Lawan Gbajabiamila over failure to cut NAS budgets. Fuel marketers plan shutdown over hike in pump price. Plus, China expresses strong dissatisfaction over U.S. shooting down balloon. Hello, this is News Live on Via Television. I am Deborah Ndokaife, the news. The House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee investigating alleged crude oil export from 2014 till date and alleged sale of 48 million barrels of Nigeria's Bonny Light crude in China in 2015 estimated at $2.4 billion has accused the Nigerian police and Interpol of harassment and intimidation of whistleblowers. The committee also invited the DPP and others to appear before it at the next visit to explain why it declared the whistleblowers wanted, as well as come with the report of investigation by Michael Ogwizi on the whistleblowers of the illegal export and sale of crude oil in China to the committee. The report.
The House of Representatives had invited the Inspector General of Police, DPP and others to explain the circumstances that led to the fleeing of a major whistleblower back to his country in Mexico. Also, the House condemned in its entirety the constant intimidation and harassment of whistleblowers who gave useful information regarding alleged sale of 48 million barrels of crude oil amounting to $1.4 billion from China without remittal to the account of the federal government in 2015. Chairman of the committee, Honorable Mark Wheeler, in his opening remark, stated that it is no coincidence that the Interpol immediately started hunting down these willing whistleblowers who volunteered to assist the committee with useful information, tagging them fugitives and arraigning them in court.
Now, these whistleblowers, one of whom was supposed to be here, but I believe if it doesn't come on time, we'll still schedule another date where they'll also be here with us, because they're quite afraid for themselves. They allege that prior to the committee's commencement of this investigation, they were intimidated and forced under duress by somebody who was also invited by this committee to appear before this committee. I saw in your response you made a reference to him as being retired. Yes, a certain DIG Michael Ogwizi. He was then the head, I believe you will confirm that or not, of the Force Criminal Investigation Department.
In his response, AIG Umar said the message by Interpol inviting the whistleblowers was not to investigate but to hear the matter. He referred the committee to the Office of Attorney General and the court for further inquiry, since it will be prejudicial to disclose information on a matter that is still pending in court.
But our letter has to carry invitation, and that is normal. And as you said, sir, I want to further explain to you. The National Central Bureau are police officers saddled with the responsibility of protection, investigation of crime. And that's what I say, it does not exclude the members of the NCB. However, when you come to issue of Interpol, which is the NCB, their responsibility is to assist law enforcement agencies to link up with all the 195 member countries on criminal matters, Mr. Chairman.
Chairman of the committee said the committee is determined to get to the bottom of the matter, promising to fly to Mexico for further information before adjourning the proceedings.
Now, the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, have filed a lawsuit against the Senate President Ahmed Lawan and Speaker of the House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila over the National Assembly budget. SERAP's Deputy Director Kolawole Oluwadare disclosed this in a statement on Sunday, saying the suit became necessary following their failure to cut the unlawful National Assembly budget of 228.1 billion naira, including the 30.17 billion naira in severance payments and inauguration costs for members. In the suit, defendants are President Muhammadu Buhari, the Attorney General of the Federation, and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami San, and the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed. He stated that the suit followed the move by the National Assembly to increase its 2023 budget from 169 billion naira proposed by President Muhammadu Buhari to 228.1 billion naira. While the approved budget shows an increase of about 59.1 billion naira, the country's budget of 21.83 trillion naira is based on a 10.49 trillion naira revenue and an 11.34 trillion naira deficit. No date has been fixed for the hearing of the suit. Now, Governor Darius Dixon Ishaku of Taraba State has condemned the gruesome killings of 2 wives and 5 children of Suleiman Mohammed, the traditional ruler of Mutumbiu in the Gasso local government area of the state. The monarch's family, who were recently abducted in Jalingo, the state capital, were brutally murdered by the suspected kidnappers. Their decomposing remains were found in a forest, and the police are yet to make any arrest in connection to the crime. The state governor, through this Commissioner of Information and Reorientation, Lois Emmanuel, described the act as barbaric, ungodly, inhuman, and uncivilized. Ishaku, who spoke through a press statement, regretted that the state government's sustained efforts to rid the state of kidnappings and other forms of banditry were being thwarted by the recent developments. He vowed not to relent in his determination to keep the citizens safe. The mock accreditation conducted by the Independent National Electoral Commission using the bimodal voters accreditation system was successful amidst low turnout of voters. The INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, said the commission had taken delivery of the bimodal voters accreditation system machines for the election, which had been tested to ensure its functionality, hence the need to conduct a mock accreditation of voters as done in Ekiti and Osun State governorship elections. The INEC chairman also noted that 12 polling units had been designated in each state of the Federation and 4 in the Federal Capital Territory on equality of the country's 109 senatorial districts for the exercise. Meanwhile, the Assistant Presiding Officer, George Abedo, said voters were not aware of the mock exercise. And the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, has declared that Nigeria is ready for the upcoming 2023 general election, despite rumors from some quarters that there will be a likely postponement due to insecurity in the country. The Speaker gave the assurance when he received a delegation of the International European Union Election Observers Mission, who paid him a courtesy call in the office. He however conceded that there are some delays in the collection of permanent voters' cards, but assured the visiting delegation that the Independent National Electoral Commission is working assiduously to ensure that the issues are resolved.
I think those who are saddled with the responsibility of making sure that we conduct free, fair elections have done what they need to do, and starting from Mr. President to the National Assembly to the INEC officials. I want to believe that the buck now has to be passed on to the people themselves, who have to be vigilant and to make sure that their votes count.
On his part, the leader of the delegation, Barry Andrews, commended the Speaker and the role he played in guiding the electoral reforms processes that culminated in the passage of the 2022 Electoral Reforms Act.
With your cooperation, and we're delighted to be able to support Nigerian democracy in every way that we can, to make our honest assessments. On the last occasion, we made a series of recommendations which were extremely well received and many of them implemented, and I want to really compliment you on the guiding the electoral reform and the Electoral Act itself over the last few years. It's been a really notable achievement, and it has ensured that the ground is prepared for what we all hope is a successful election.
When News Live returns, 3 persons have been confirmed dead after a building under construction collapsed in Rivers State. Details of this and more comes to you after the break. Just stay tuned.
In this 21st century, where all the information we need is now in the palm of our hands, News from around the world, entertainment, celebrity gossip, sports, and much more. The only thing that you need is the right source. Viewer TV is now on the go. Simply check us out on our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter for all the information you need.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is News Live. Here is a recap of our top stories. Socioeconomic Rights and Accountability Project sues Lawan Gbajabiamila over failure to cut NAS budget. Fuel marketers plan shutdown over hike in pump price. Plus, China expresses strong dissatisfaction over U.S. shooting down balloon. Borno State Governor Babangana Zulum has directed that any bank which refuses to dispense new Naira notes via automated teller machines and banking halls should have its land revoked by the state government. Zulum issued the directive in Maiduguri after visiting branches of banks to assess problems being faced by residents in trying to access new Naira notes via long queues at ATMs amid acute scarcity and hopelessness. He expressed dissatisfaction that the new Naira notes and even the old ones are not available, and that is adversely affecting commercial activities, and the state and people are suffering. The governor urged the Central Bank of Nigeria to ensure the availability of new notes at the commercial banks for people to access their money. A non-governmental organization, Sal Anwar Jumal Consulte Limited, SCL Project Juria, is partnering with the Adamawa State government to train farmers on regenerative agriculture and carbon farmers as a means of combating climate change and enhancing quality yield. The CEO and project manager Abiola Ebohe, while flagging off the project in Yola, said 72,000 smallholders farm will benefit from the MasterCard-funded project. Percy Daban completes the report. Take a look.
The need to combat climate change and enhance food production has been a burning issue for the global community. Poor yield, drought, and flooding affecting food production have continued to be a threat to food security, mostly in sub-Saharan Africa, where desertification is setting in daily. Providing solution to this challenge is the reason for this gathering. Stakeholders in the agri sector and government officials are here to be introduced to a game changer known as regenerative agriculture or carbon farming. This is at the instance of SCL Project Juria, which has earlier trained smallholder farmers from Adamawa State on different techniques of modern farming.
The beauty of this project is landscape management. What it does to the land has a knock-on effect in so many areas. It has a social effect, it has a financial, economic effect, it has a climate effect, it has a community effect. And the approach of implementing the project is really to build cohesion within the community. So like we mentioned consistently, this is Adamawa implementing for Adamawa. So Adamawa field agents are going out to their communities, meeting with 200 farmers within their community. And for the first year, we're starting with 24 field agents within Adamawa. So that's 24 times 200. Imagine the impact.
Adamawa State Commissioner for Agriculture, Dishi Kobe, who attended the event alongside other commissioners and top government officials, appreciate SCL for considering Adamawa State to be part of the project.
I want to give you assurance to this new partnership of SCL and Adamawa State Government that for whatever support you need on the part of ministries and parastatals, our doors are widely open and we are ever ready at all times.
The project champion and regenerative agriculture specialist SCL project junior Dr. Andrew Kosari, who led the technical session, said 24 field agents from the state have been trained for 1 month on effective carbon farming.
Regenerative agri, you never plant one crop, no monocropping at all. So always a combination. Adama have planted about 17 to 20 different crops on their Adama plot during their training, and we will preserve that crop.
So speaking, a resource person and a forester and the State Secretary of Poverty Alleviation and Wealth Creation said some of the principles of carbon farming include sustainable land management, a plant combination, integrated pest control, sustainable water management, and livestock integration.
When you bring a change, first of all, the concept of it may not be normal, or it may be normal. But when you practice and the result is good, people will accept it. Because this is a practical thing. If it works, everybody will be interested.
It's going to provide our teen youth with a sustainable means of livelihood. It's going to protect the environment and also have food security for the state.
No fewer than 360 communities across the 3 states, covering approximately 360,000 hectares of land, will benefit from the exercise. Percy Dabang, Viva TV News, Yola.
3 persons have been confirmed dead after a building under construction collapsed in Umbudo community, Ikwere local government area of Rivers State. The 2-story building caved in late Saturday, killing 3 laborers engaged in the construction work. The Rivers State Commandant of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Michael Oga, who led personnel of the Corps on a search and rescue operation, attributed the incident to the use of substandard materials in the construction of the 2-story building. According to a statement by the Public Relations Officer of the Command, Olufemi Ayodele, after joint rescue operations by NSCDC, National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, other security agencies, and the local government authorities, the scene of the collapsed building has been cordoned off and sealed to prevent further disaster. Governor Babagana Zulum has said his administration will conduct promotional examinations for civil servants soon. The governor stated these at the first international conference of the Faculty of Management Science of University of Maiduguri. Our correspondent Beatrice Kritsi has more in this report. Take a listen.
The international conference connecting other institutions across Africa was tagged Revolutionizing Management Skills for Economic Advancement and Capacity Building in a Challenging Environment. The conference, which featured financial experts, educationists, and stakeholders from within and across the university, is to enhance capacity management skills to effectively deal with the current global phenomenon crippling economic development. Most of the resource persons who spoke observed that bad leadership, corruption, cybercrime, among others, could affect leadership in challenging environments under rapidly evolving global technology.
I carefully said organized corruption. Some of you may ask, what is this organized corruption? And is corruption organized? These days it is, before you fish out what is the corruption, it's a very difficult task. If you follow the meaning of what corruption is, you cannot find where corruption is.
The University of Maiduguri will also strive to keep the university's core values, tradition, and culture alive. As a matter of principle, therefore, I will sustain and vigorously promote academic traditions and cultures, such as holding conferences, seminars, and symposiums, which are significant and define us as a community of intellectuals.
Meanwhile, the governor of Borno State said his government, in ensuring effective service delivery to the people of the state, will soon conduct its first civil service promotional exams.
I directed the introduction of promotion examinations for all civil servants in the state, the first time in the history of the state, which is with the view to ensuring putting the right people in the right places for quality service delivery to our people.
Intellectuals believe that the conference will boost the institution's visibility and prepare future professionals to tackle local, national, and international challenges. Bitrus Kuruti, Viewer Television News, Maiduguri.
And the Police Service Commission has approved the appointment of the 3 Assistant Inspectors General of Police to the rank of Deputy Inspectors of Police. In a statement on Sunday by the Commission's Head of Press and Public Relations, Ikechukwu Ani, the promotion of 8 Commissioners of Police to the rank of Assistant Inspector General AIGs was suspended. This is because of the CPs failed to appear before it for the mandatory promotion interview. Ani said the new appointments were part of the decisions of the Commission's 18th plenary meeting held in Abuja from February 2nd to 3rd and chaired by the acting chairman, Justice Clara Ogunbiyi. The new appointed officers are expected to fill the gap created by the retirement of 3 DIGs representing Northwest, Northeast, and North Central geopolitical zones. You're still watching News Live on Viewer Television. Business International comes to you right after the break. Just stay tuned.
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm at the Envoy Hotel, Diplomatic Drive 305, here for a business weekend. It's been an amazing stay. Conference hall and business facilities here are stylish and innovative. The Envoy Hotel is luxury, esoteric, opulence, for ultimate comfort.
Discerning travelers, we are more than just a place to stay. We are an icon of comfort, style, and thoughtful luxury. We are Envoy Hotel.
And now on business, independent marketers of premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, are going to set to shut down operations beginning from Monday once the government starts the enforcement of 195 naira per litre pump price. It was gathered on Saturday that the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Major Oil Marketers Association of Nigeria, Depot and Petroleum Products Marketers Association of Nigeria, Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, security agencies and the downstream regulator that had all agreed that petrol be sold at 195 naira per litre. Oil marketers said the agreement was reached at a meeting in Abuja on Tuesday as participants resolved that beginning from Monday, February 6, 2023, the pump price of petrol should not exceed 195 naira per litre, a development which dealers, particularly independent marketers, described as tough due to the high ex-depot price of the commodity. They revealed that to avoid having their outlets sanctioned, many filling stations operated by independent marketers would be shut from Monday as it made no business sense to sell a product lower than the cost price. This is likely to further prolong the petrol scarcity and queues in many parts of the country as independent marketers control about 80% of filling stations nationwide. Reports gathered states that the federal government plans to raise a 250.09 billion naira from excise duty in 2023. This is according to the 2023 fiscal framework document obtained, and according to the document, the federal government targeted 98.53 billion naira from excise duty in 2021 and 161.7 billion naira in 2022. This shows that the government revenue target from excise duty rose by 153.82% in 2 years and 54.66% in 1 year. MTN Nigerian Communications PLC made 1.80 trillion from voice and data in 2022, according to the firm's audited results for the years ended 31 December 2022. This is a 20.79% increase from the 1.49 trillion naira the firm made from the same revenue source in 2021. Overall, the firm's total revenue increased by 21.64% from 1.65 trillion naira as of December 2021 to 2.01 trillion naira as of December 2022. According to the firm, its mobile subscriber base grew by 7.2 million in 2022 and active data subscribers grew by 5.2 million. The firm also described that the 2022 was challenging because of global macroeconomic and geopolitical volatility. We'll be going on a short break for international, and when we come back, international continues. Stay tuned. And Beijing has blasted the Pentagon's decision to shoot down on an alleged Chinese spy balloon spotted flying over North America, accusing the United States of clearly overreacting and seriously violating international practice. The craft spent several days flying over North America, ratcheting up tensions between Washington and Beijing before it was brought down by a missile shot from an F-22 jet on Saturday, Pentagon officials said. Now, the U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin called the operation a deliberate and lawful action that came in response to China's unacceptable violation of sovereignty. Meanwhile, the Chinese Foreign Ministry on Sunday said it had clearly requested that the United States properly handle the matter in a calm, professional and restrained manner. Beijing said the United States insisted on using force, clearly overreacting and seriously violating international practice. Now, at least 23 people have died in hundreds of forest fires whipped up amid a blistering heat wave in south-central Chile, a senior government official has disclosed. Now, Deputy Interior Minister Manuel Monsalve noted that 979 people have been injured in the fires. Monsalve further said 232 wildfires were still active on Saturday, including 16 that began earlier in the day. Meanwhile, the government of President Gabriel Boric extended a state of disaster to include the southern region of Araucania. The regions of Nobo and Biobio were already under disaster designation, and the move allows Boric to mobilize the military to help battle the fires as the death toll continued to rise. Rescue workers were searching by sea and air for 9 people missing after a fishing boat capsized in waters of South Korea's southwestern coast, authorities said on Sunday. Now, the 24-ton vessel overturned in waters off the coast of Sinan's County late Saturday night, according to the Interior Ministry. 3 crew members were rescued by a nearby boat, but 9 others, including 2 foreigners, remained missing. The ministry added in a statement that more than a dozen vessels and 3 aircraft from the Coast Guard and the Navy had been deployed to search for the missing people. It said, and President Yoon Suk-yeol urged maximum effort for the rescue operations, ordering the mobilization of all available resources to widen the search area, his office said. And that's all on News Live, but before we go, a recap of the headlines. Socioeconomic Rights and Accountability Project sues Lawan Bajambiamla over failure to cut NAS budget. Fuel marketers plan shut down over hike in pump price. Plus, China expresses strong dissatisfaction over U.S. shooting down balloon. Many thanks for watching. I am Deborah Ndukaife. Please stay tuned and enjoy the rest of our programs. Thank you.